Hi guys, my name's Jose Navas and I'm a filmmaker from Miami. I'm here tonight screening a collection of my short films, El Balsero, Beat Lingo, and the East Coast premiere of With His Eyes Closed. I want to give a huge thanks to Miami-Dade College, the Tower Theater, and Jay for allowing me this opportunity. I can't wait, I'm so excited, and I hope you guys enjoy.
So if you want to ask Jose a question about any of the films, just raise your hand. But I think you wanted to bring up some other
Yes,
guests. Yeah.
before, I hope you guys enjoy first off. Before we start the Q&A, I want to bring up Maribel Cabrera, who's the producer on Beat Lingo and With His Eyes Closed. She's also the co-writer of With His Eyes Closed, so Maribel.
So honored to be on the stage with you guys.
Thank you.
All right. So you can, as I said, just raise your hand if you have a question, but I'm going to ask the first one. So I was wondering if you could walk us through, Jose, your storytelling interests. You know, all of these films have very different subjects, but I understand that the films are getting more and more personal for you as you make them. I was wondering if you could walk us through your storytelling, interests.
Yeah. You know, that's one of my favorite questions because people always tell me, you know, I love the question because I really get to express myself as a filmmaker. I just love good stories. I go wherever there's a good story. You know, El Balsero was an amazing story. When I read it, I was like, that could be an amazing movie. Beat Lingo was a concept that one of my good friends who's a writer pitched to me. And I was like, wow, mute boy who can beatbox, prodigy beatboxer, that's amazing. But as I have, you know, worked out my filmmaking muscle, I have, you know, made it a point to kind of look at deep within me and what is it that you like, Jose? What are those, you know, what's that emotion that gets you and experience and your voice through the experiences that I've had? So I have tried to tap into that. And I'm working on an animation project right now that has to do a lot of what I've gone through with my son. So, you know, little by little I'm doing that more, but at the end of the day, you know, probably one of the biggest filmmakers that I look at and look up to is Steven Spielberg, and he kind of has that too, where he's done so many different things, you know, from Jaws to Schindler's List and Jurassic Park, and that's what I want to be. I want to be a filmmaker where I can, you know, tap into a lot of different subjects.
Yeah, I can see the Jaws influence in the raptor with the shark, right?
Yeah.
Maribel, can you talk about your creative collaboration? What does that kind of look like? Like, how did that come about? Like, how did your creative collaboration
Sure.
come?
So, Beat Lingo was the first producer credit that I ever received, and I think I didn't really know in the beginning what I was getting myself into, but I knew I wanted to help him tell these stories. And I think as a producer, you hear the director and his ideas as like the final puzzle, the big picture. But you are coming with all the little pieces, crew, the wardrobe, whatever you need, the rehearsals, coordinating, to make that whole big picture happen.
Yeah, and one thing I have to compliment you guys on all three films is the casting. You just do such a phenomenal job. Like, you really wait until you get the right actors for the part and the faces. It's really what makes these films special. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So questions, does anyone have any questions? This light's kind of bright here, but I will block it out if you just want to raise your hand.
And I was just curious, where did you shoot the protest scene?
Yeah, the protest scene, that was, you know, I was going crazy trying to figure out where we could, because, you know, I wanted to do an aerial and then kind of do wides. So I was like, okay, it needs to really look, you know, somewhat like Cuba. And then we ended up shooting it, it's close to 78th Street on like North Miami Avenue. It's like a warehouse district there. And so it just so happened to be right next to the studio that we were working out of, and it worked out so perfect. It was like right in front, and we dressed it up. You know, obviously we did a little bit of dressing to the location, and it worked out pretty well. Worked out pretty well.
Yeah,
we got lucky. We got lucky.
Very convincing. Very convincing.
Hi.
We're here.
Thank you again for the movie. That was amazing. I wasn't expected to see this. And are you aware of the impact it could have, this movie you create, like if you or like with your team working? This time that we are living right now.
Yeah.
Is it like for Cuban people? Are
Yeah.
you aware what the impact is gonna make on us?
Yeah. I was sitting watching El Balsero, and I was getting emotional because it was like, you know, with what's going on right now in Cuba, and you know, people being, you know, brutally beat and killed and tortured and so many other bad things, and it hurts because you know, like Reynaldo said, you know, what is life if you don't have that freedom? And so watching it was emotional. I am so honored, so honored to be able to have the Cruz family give me the opportunity to tell that story, and for me to be able to execute it, and you know, for us and the, you know, Miami receiving it so well. Yeah, it hit my heart. I mean, it's hard to, you know, thinking about what's going on.
Yeah, but I want to point out that, you know, when I saw El Balsado for the first time, I mean, I assumed Jose was Cuban because it was so, you know, it was just so passionate and it was ripped from the heart. And I just think that shows the empathy that we all have in Miami for our Cuban brothers and sisters. So
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that question, that comment.
right there in the middle.
What was one of the unexpected challenges that you had in filming, and I guess maybe how did you overcome?
Which is it for all films or any?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, each film had definitely its obstacles. Like El Balsero was being out in the sun. We shot in the ocean. Like the thunderstorm scene was CGI, but everything else we shot in the ocean. 2 boats, full crew. Sometimes we had 3 boats. We had to go out, you know, a mile and a half out to the ocean, drop him off. He was scared of the sharks. So I was the first. When we weren't out there, nobody wanted it. Everybody was like talking about the sharks and sharks. I just jumped right into the ocean. I was like, forget that. If somebody's gonna get eaten, it's gonna be me. So, but it was the ocean, and with Beat Lingo is just, you know, the matching, the beatboxing, and so many little pieces. The kids rapping. These kids weren't rappers. They were not beatboxers, you know. And we did a lot of rehearsing. So with Beat Lingo, it was the rehearsing. That was like the huge obstacle. And then for With His Eyes Closed, the biggest obstacle.
Cassie!
Yeah, Maribel, you want to take it on, please?
Yeah, also this is all Beat Lingo and With His Eyes Closed were shot during the pandemic, so that was an unexpected challenge. But because of the nature of With His Eyes Closed and the age of the actors that were set to do those roles, it was very difficult to find parents and actors who were both comfortable doing that kind of material, but we understood at the end of the day was to tell the story and tell the message. And all 3 films, I was trying to think of how to connect them. I think to the point of also El Bracero, to do and follow your dreams, you have to be fearless. You cannot have any fear in your body. And sometimes it's hard to be brave. But we do it anyway because we want to get to our dream. Freedom, and With His Eyes Closed, standing up for his brother, always protecting him, and Lingo, finding your voice.
Yeah, definitely. Believing in, you know, going for whatever it is you believe in. You know, Reynaldo wanted su libertad, and he went out and he did whatever he had to do. You know, Marcus wants a voice, and he found that voice. And, you know, Emiliano, which is Andres, he wanted to protect his brother, the love for his brother. And talking about that, I have a brother, me and my brother are extremely close, and I think that that's where that I wanted to portray that love of wanting to protect your younger brother. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I like how you connected the three films, because watching them all together, there's a real distinctive voice that's emerging here. So yeah, it's three separate films, but it's really one program. It's a complete program. It's one painting. Any last question over there, up there in the white?
Thank you and congratulations. I wanted to ask you what inspired you to select these three particular stories?
For the collection to screen them, well, with El Balsero, we had such a huge success at the Miami Film Festival, and we also won at New York Latino Film Festival. You know, that was huge. And then Beat Lingo, we premiered here too, and With His Eyes Closed. So it kind of just made sense to make these films into a collection. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Jay, you can add to that.
Yeah, it was that, you know, like the two films that were really successful at Miami Film Festival, and then we hadn't had a chance to screen With His Eyes Closed, and you know, we wanted to do that soon after it had its world premiere at the Los Angeles Latino Film Festival, which was last month. So that was kind of how this idea came about, and I'm really happy that we did this. I mean, I love the short film format. I think you can see so much talent. So you have a freedom in short filmmaking that is sometimes different from when you have a feature film and all the complexities and the pressures of that. So that's why we did it, and I'm so glad we did. I can't wait for the next 3 shorts that we can put in another package, or your next feature, whichever comes first.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. You know, one thing I want to say is that I am so happy to be able to do what I do. It's a passion of mine, and I do not take for granted the opportunity to be able to chase my dream. You know, and sometimes you fail. I didn't want to get up here and talk about how hard filmmaking was, and you know how hard it is, and how many sleepless and sobbing nights, you know, when you're crying and you're like, am I gonna make it? Am I not gonna make it? You know what? I love what I do, and I'm gonna continue to do it, and it brings me so much passion, and I'm so happy, to be here with you guys, to be able to share it. You know, Jay, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This is a dream come true. I remember when I first started doing this, maybe 5-6 years ago, being selected or thinking about being in the Miami Film Festival was a dream. I was like, oh my God, when am I gonna get there? And then to win, and then not to be here, I am so appreciative. I don't take this for granted, and I'm truly happy to be able to do this. And so yeah, thank you guys.
Looks good on you. So please, let's continue our conversation out in the lobby. We've got drinks and music, and
party.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you guys.